We are just 9 days away from the first game of Team India in the ICC T20 World Cup 2024. We're done with the IPLs as well. It's time. Let's focus back to the World Cup because all the teams that have participated, all the players that are part of the IPL teams are not part of the today's IPL final. That's very interesting to see. I have Orko with me. Orko, welcome to the show. But Team India, it's once again the hope definitely stays for us to win the World Cup.
Absolutely. When it comes to this team participating in any tournament, you would expect them to win. And we usually have that squad and that dynamic to do well. And because of the fact that we have done relatively well in the recent ICC events, we haven't ended up winning them, but we have always been in and around the knockouts. And certainly in this tournament, you would expect them to be there once again and hopefully get past the finish line.
Okay, hopefully get past the finish line. Something very interesting. We will see. Fingers crossed. But let's take a look at the squad of Team India. Here it is, starting with the top four players: Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Virat Kohli, and Suryakumar Yadav. They are big game players, but I'll start with Rohit Sharma in a T20 format. How much do you look into? How much do you think he can be responsible along with the other three players?
Certainly, he's the captain. He has to step up. I know that his recent form in World Cups, in the T20 World Cups, I mean, hasn't been that great. And even coming into the IPL, from the IPL, he hasn't been that great. So certainly, he has a point to prove. But we all know what Rohit Sharma is in World Cups. If you look at the 50 over World Cup as well, he was just a completely different player altogether. So if he brings that form in, because there's obviously a much shorter format, obviously the demands are a little more because you have to attack from the ball one. I think he's rightly suited for that role, and he also has another partner in Jaiswal who is also expected to do the exact same thing. So I think Rohit Sharma will have a pretty good World Cup and hopefully prove people wrong who have doubted him.
Comparatively, as you rightly said, people who have doubted him, these two players, be it a Rohit Sharma, be it a Yashasvi Jaiswal, did not have the best of the IPL. So how do you look into changing from an IPL to an World Cup situation? Can they perform at the biggest stage?
Well, they are class players. I think you don't need to teach them the game of cricket. No matter where they play, they are obviously expected to do well. It's just a matter of time when that form gets replaced by class. And certainly, these are the kind of players who would come big in these big stages, and they are probably just a game or two away from retaining their usual form.
Okay, so you have summed up the two, should I say, openers. Does Virat Kohli sneak into that? He is the man you need in the ICC formats. Do you think Virat Kohli should be the opener alongside Rohit Sharma, starting with the proceedings?
Could be, because I know that will be unfair on Jaiswal because people expect him to open with that right-left combination and the flamboyance that he gives in the top of the order. But the thing is, if Kohli opens, then Surya plays at three, and I think that's a much suited position for Sky. If you put him at four, I think that you're misutilizing or underutilizing the player Sky is. If he plays at three, it'll be better. And Kohli off late has been a very, very good opener. I mean, he has been equally flamboyant, if not better, because this is Kohli 2.0. He's no more that conservative Kohli that we have all known. He has adapted his game. He has certainly modified it to a next level player. So he's growing with age and also growing in gameplay and temperament. So in these kind of tracks, you expect Kohli to be a very key player, and maybe Rohit and Kohli could be the opening options, and that way you can play Sky at three and maybe add an extra finisher in the mix as well.
Okay, Sky at three, add extra finishers in the middle order. That's what even I think. But Surya Kumar Yadav, this is his format, I must tell you. But starting with Virat Kohli, Orko, in the IPL, he has just stopped the doubting of him. Be it the strike rate. Strike rate is not a concern. He can accelerate where it comes. It's in 140s when it comes to in the West Indies conditions. That's brilliant because in slow conditions, if he's batting so well, if he can explore the power play batting at the top of the order, he can be a different ball game, winning the orange cap again. I think that's the reason why he's one of the best.
Absolutely. If not one of the best, he's certainly the best because he's someone who does well against every team, every condition, every ground in the world. And that's the kind of player you want. I mean, it's very weird how people doubted him, his place in the side. People said that there are players better than him. It's just ridiculous to doubt a player of his stature and his ability. And you have also seen him shut everyone's mouths in terms of his strike rate as well. So certainly Kohli is the one who has to be the most key player for India. And I know there's nothing called an orange cap here, but he's someone who is expected to be among the top run getters in this World Cup as well.
Every single time India make it to the ICC tenure, he is the one who is the leading run scorer. So it's not surprising we saved once again Kohli to be the leading run scorer for India, maybe in the tournament as well once again. But Surya Kumar Yadav, you said number three is the ideal position. Had a decent season. The late part of the season was a good one for the Mumbai Indians. Do you think he should continue playing the way he plays in the franchisee cricket in the international circuit as well? Not take additional pressure that it's an international circuit. My wicket is valuable. I understand every single player might think the wicket is valuable, but if you can continue that strike rate of 170, which you can see in the statistics end, that might make a difference for Team India.
Absolutely, and I don't expect him to change that template either because that's what brings the best out of Sky, and that's why he's in the team. So he's someone who should look to score runs in quick pace, no matter what the situation is. Because even if he falls early, we do have stabilizers who can control the game in the middle order. So you don't need to make Sky play that role. He has to be someone who has to be expressive, and I think he'll continue doing that, and that's where his strength lies.
Okay, fair enough. So you have summed up pretty much about the first four players. Moving into the next four, it's surprising to see two very young wicket keepers, though they're not young in the age of Sanju Samson, but very good to see Rishabh Pant and Sanju Samson. The way Rishabh Pant has made a comeback, especially with the bat as well as with the gloves in the IPL, has been phenomenal. Sanju Samson, another captain, another successful IPL captain, I should say, but getting knocked out in the qualifier too. But out of these two, you have to make a choice between one in the playing 11. If you can firstly describe the reason why they have been picked, either somebody like Nishan Kishan, KL Rahul, the reason behind that, and also who do you think will make it to the playing 11?
Well, it's obvious that Pant and Samson deserve to be picked because certainly they have been good in the IPL as well, especially Samson, who's been among the top run getters and also took his side to the knockouts. So I think their selection is pretty obvious. Samson has adapted his game, he has developed his power hitting, he's a very mature cricketer right now. Pant, obviously, we know on his day he's a cheat code when he gets going. He's someone who can't be stopped at any ground by any bowler. So it's
Correct.
very obvious that these two, whenever available, would have been picked, especially Pant. But it'll be a very tough choice as to what India makes because the kind of balance we have equal number of left-handers and right-handers in the middle order. So if they feel that Pant is the rightly suited left-hander in the team, then certainly Hardik anyway will play in the middle order. So I think they may prefer Pant initially over Samson, and that's pretty obvious because he's someone who has done well for the Indian cricket team over the years. His T20 stats haven't been that great, but we all know the class he has, so he can get going as well. Talking about the players who've been excluded, it's pretty obvious that Ishan Kishan wouldn't have been in the scheme of things because he's more a power play oriented opening kind of a keeper batsman. Same with KL Rahul for that matter, and we haven't even seen enough of him in the middle order as a T20 player. Even in the IPL, he didn't try to play over there. So certainly there is too little sample size to judge from. I think these two are the right choices, and that's how they have been in the plane to the US as well.
Okay, so you have summed up. You have gone with Rishabh Pant ahead of Sanju Samson in the middle order circuit. Then comes the two all-rounders. Rather, I can say the batting all-rounders. Hardik Pandya, definitely. So you have already summed up the number four spot going to Rishabh Pant. Is these two the number five and six?
Absolutely, because Hardik Pandya gives that stability. He gives a wonderful bowling option. He's as good a bowler as a batsman. He's certainly the vice captain of the team, so added responsibility on him. So he'll be the one who is the bridge between the lower middle order and the top order. So that's the best position for him at number five, alongside the fact that he gives bowling. Shivam Dubey would be that number six because he's that hitter, he's that finisher, he's the one who can, accelerate at any time if required. He can even come a bit up the order, maybe ahead of a Pant as well at four or something. So he's someone who gives a bit of dimension and big hitting in the team, which is much needed. We have lacked that over time. And of course, if required, he can give 1 2 overs of medium pace as well.
And he can be the floater, as you rightly said, ahead of Pant because just like CSK has utilized him, if there is a spinner around, he plays spin so well. So he can be the floater. 145 strike rate can go to 200 any given day if he gets going. So that's a very good thing. We might still see. You're saying number six Shivam Dubey. When I come to the reserves, I think you might just regret that if Shivam Dubey was ended up there, there would have been someone from your franchisee part of the number six position. We'll come to that. But going to the bowling section rather than the off spinning section, Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel, like to like bowlers. They've gone with those two. And then the Kulchai is there. Jadeja at seven, surely. Akshar in the bench as of now to start proceedings. And then who should be amongst the Kulchai if you can sum up all these four players?
I think Kuldeep and Chahal should start. At least Kuldeep certainly should start because he's our prime spinner at the moment and in form as well. And because of the variety he brings in with that left arm Chinaman angle as well, he's someone who should certainly start. If they need another spinner, then maybe they can look at Chahal. But I don't think they will do that because they have two quality all round options. In terms of
Correct.
form, you can say Akshar Patel is ahead. But I think Rohit Sharma will trust the fact that Jadeja is a veteran. He will back him earlier. If Jadeja does have a horrid tournament and in the middle Rohit thinks of trying other things, then maybe Akshar gets in the mix. I don't see Akshar and Jadeja both playing together. Any one of them will play, and the second spinner should be one among Kulcha and Chahal.
Okay, so second spinner, one amongst Kulcha, and I think I would have also gone with more of a Kulcha rather than Chell in West Indian conditions. Ravinder Jadeja, unfortunately, once again starts. If you look into the strike rate, not impressive with the bat, but still has been lately getting opportunities with the bat for the Chennai Super Kings. Let's see. As I said, jersey colors, different format of the game, but it's international circuit now. Can he perform at the level as we all know Sir Ravinder Jadeja performs? Going to now the fast bowlers. What do you look into this one now? Here are the three fast bowlers: Jasprit Bumrah, Arshdeep Singh, and you have Mohammad Siraj. Sum it up for me. Has to be, is it three of them playing together? Maybe a two in West Indian conditions? What's your take?
Well, I think Jasprit and Arshdeep should start. Many might disagree. They may feel that Siraj is the more experienced bowler who should start. But I think Arshdeep gives that left arm angle, which is very important, especially in every team. There is a particular player who struggles against left arm pace. We have recently figured out that in the form of Travis Head. So if we play against a team like Australia, we would want that left arm pacer who can give in that angle. And the additional part of Arshdeep is he can even bowl at the death. He's got some pinpoint Yorkers. So I think he, along with Bumrah, should be starting proceedings for us. If they make way for Siraj, it will be good. If there is a requirement of a spinner, they can play a third spinner in the form of a Chahal or maybe Aksar as well. So I think Siraj wasn't a real necessity. I think
Correct.
Arshdeep and Bumrah should be the ones who should start for the team.
So you have said Siraj wasn't necessary in this format, and I 100% agree with this. But unfortunately, he has got just because of the popularity. But when it comes to reserves, the four reserves they have taken. Shuman Gill, I think he is more likely a backup of either of Yashasvi Jaiswal or maybe in the top order. Rinku Singh, here is where I can pause and I can ask you, you know him better than anybody amongst the both of us. Rinku Singh, should he have deserved in the number six spot?
Absolutely. I think he didn't do anything wrong because I believe that, yes, IPL does make a big statement in your selection in a particular team. But what are bilateral tours for? If someone has done well in India colors before the World Cup, you obviously need to give him priority. Just because he doesn't give bowling, maybe they preferred someone like Shivam Dubey ahead of him. But I think Rinku Singh deserved a place. They could have maybe thought of putting one spinner off, but maybe because of West Indian conditions, they used four spinners. Who knows if one of them, of the four spinners, maybe someone like Chahal or Aksar could have been dropped to slot in another Rinku Singh, but that didn't happen. Sadly, it's unfortunate because he has done nothing wrong, especially in Indian colours. I know people may say that he has been underutilized in KKR, but that's a completely different situation. In KKR, Rinku is not a very big necessity because we have enough batting depth. But for India, Rinku plays a very crucial role, and he has been winning countless games in the limited opportunities that he has got. So it's sad that he's not in. But if God's plan is something that exists, then we never know. He might very well be in the team as well in due course of time.
He believes in God plan a lot, and I think he might just sneak in. I still want him part of the number six spot. No disrespect to Shivam Dube, but I still want anybody, whether it's a spinner that is getting sacrificed, whether it's unfortunate Dube that is getting sacrificed. I still want him at number six. You need a very good finisher. 15 games he has just played and a strike rate of 176. Are you kidding me? You need a finisher like that at number six, and you can get that Hardik, Jaddu, Rinku. You can get that sorted very much now. Avesh Khan for the Rajasthan Royals and lately has been brilliant. And I think he should have been part of the squad instead of a Mohammad Siraj or Co.
Absolutely, because he is someone who has bowled at all phases. Even in the power play, he has been very nippy and someone who gets those crafty in swingers and out swingers early on with high pace. And in the death, he's been phenomenal. I think alongside Avesh, there are certain options from the Rajasthan team itself who could have been considered. Maybe someone like Sandeep Sharma, because in West Indies, you have that grip and people who can take pace of the ball and also have a bit of swing in them would come in handy. So certainly, Sandeep Sharma could have also been a very ideal choice, if not Khalil Ahmed for that matter. And Avesh is someone who should have been ahead of Siraj for me as well in terms of form, but they trusted experience and reputation, so we can't really question that. But yes, there are people who can talk a lot about people who have not been selected, like Rinku. Some even mentioned the name of Natarajan because he's also someone
I was
like
about
Arshdeep who can. Yeah, he's also someone like Arshdeep who can, give that left arm angle and brilliance in the death. So I think because they have Arshdeep, they didn't go for Natarajan this time around, just once again trusting the T20 World Cup experience, which Arshdeep already has. So it's a thing that India has played very safely. BCCI has just gone for players who have previously represented India in heaps and bounds. So that's what they have done.
But the reason why I'm once again going back to Natarajan, they could have had him in place of Khalil Ahmed. Khalil Ahmed had a decent start to the IPL, but just couldn't continue. So I think that if we still have time to make any changes, I won't be surprised if they make changes in the reserve section. I have somebody like Natarajan in place of Khalil Ahmed. That could be a good choice. Like I would have also wanted either of Sandeep Sharma or Mohit Sharma in those conditions amongst the Pacers as well. But unfortunately, there's no spot. Avesh Khan has been doing brilliant. We have to see. I don't think so. They will drop either of Siraj or Arshdeep or Bumrah. Is no question. We might see. The only thing is, I still want Rinku Singh part of the squad. who is the one who will sacrifice? We have to wait and see. But we are done with the squads as well as the reserves. Thank you so much, Orko. Let's take a look into the fixtures for Team India. Here are the four games we are placing, starting with Ireland. I think Ireland have just won the tri-series against Scotland and Netherlands. They're playing some really good and attacking cricket. Pakistan, the arch rivals at New York. Then you go to USA. You have so many Indians in part of the squad as well. And then Canada. Definitely top of the table for us.
Absolutely. I think you expect India to finish on the top of the table. And obviously, the only big threat among all these four games should be Pakistan. But that being said, if the giant killers like USA and Ireland get going, then they can give us a firm contest. But you don't expect India to lose any of those fixtures. And even in terms of our recent form against Pakistan, we are expected to do well. But Pakistan is full strength. I think their team is scary. They have gotten the right players back. I think it was always ridiculous why they didn't use Imad Wasim, but he's back in the mix. So it's a wonderful addition back. And Mohammad Amir is back as well. Naseem Shah is back fit alongside that duo of Haris Rauf and Shaheen Afridi. So they have a deadly team, and I think that will be a mouth-watering clash to watch out for, just as every India and Pakistan game should be. So I think India should finish in the top of the table, but yes, Pakistan could be that nut which will be difficult to crack.
So you said Pakistan is a scary side. So definitely you're also hinting towards Pakistan to be the second team that qualifies from this group. No chance, no outside chance for teams like Ireland, USA.
Absolutely not. They don't have much of a chance, no matter how well they have done against teams like Bangladesh or Pakistan. But I don't think that they have enough quality or experience in a World Cup to, outdo the likes of India and Pakistan just yet.
Okay, so you have summed up the fixtures for the T20 World Cup for Team India. You have said Team India is likely to be the table toppers, and I think they should be. Let's take a look at the last 3 years of the T20 World Cup and let's see what Team India has done in that. Here it is, starting with the T20 2022 semi-finalist against England, 2021 Super 10, 2016 semi-finalist. I'll come to the two semi-finals we have played, 2022 and 2016. Which one broke the heart of you? Was it 2016 more than 2022?
Absolutely. I think that was a home World Cup. We are expected to win such kind of World Cup, just like the recently concluded 50-over World Cup. Virat Kohli was in the form of his life, and out of nowhere, the big guns of West Indies came and just took the game away from us. And they made a literal mockery of the 190 odd score that we had put. People like Russell finishing it off, and Lendl Simmons playing that blinder of a knock. So certainly, it was a big shocker that we didn't expect. But that's what the West Indians are for. They are tailor-made for this format, and they may not come with the biggest of reputation, but again, they have won two World Cups already, so you can't write such a team off. So that was a big shock for us, given the fact that it was a home World Cup. Then the 2022 semi-final again was something that broke a lot of hearts, but it was pretty obvious. We were nowhere in the game. We were completely washed away, you can say, by the English. They lost by 10 wickets. Alex Hales and Josh Butler never gave us a chance in that game, and neither did we put up a big score as well.
Exactly. I was about to come back. Did we bat well? I don't think so.
We didn't, because we were pretty conservative, and maybe after that, for the 2023 World Cup, India chose that attacking approach. Rohit Sharma modified his game from being conservative to being expressive. So obviously that's a different story. We didn't win that World Cup either, but the approach certainly changed. And obviously among the two World Cups, 2016 semi-final loss was the one that hurt a little more.
Okay, 2016, and you can see in the frames when Virat Kohli was bowling the final over, Andy Russell banged him over mid-wicket, and we lost the T20 World Cup 2016 as well. Let's take a look into the top 5 players to watch out for. Here are the 5 players I have taken. Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Rohit Rat is a no-brainer out there. Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah as well. But Surya Kumar Yadav, I think this is his format. He should be my 5th player. I was tempted towards somebody like a Hardik Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja, but I've gone with these 5. Any changes for you? Any other player you want to be out here replacing anyone?
Absolutely not. These are the ones who make or break for the team. Rohit Sharma, the captain, we all know on his day, with that elegance that he has, the effortless batsman that he is, he can negotiate against any bowling attack in the world for that matter. And if West Indies or USA does provide a bit of bounce, we know Rohit Sharma is someone who does well in such tracks as well. But you expect those tracks to be sluggish, and there again, people like Kohli will obviously come in the fray. And with the form that Kohli is in, he's no more that conservative ones or twos approach type Kohli. He's someone who actually expresses himself enough and gets the gaps more often than not. Same is the case with Sky. He's also coming in with good form and has a point to prove. He has been under a lot of criticism, especially after the 2023 World Cup final, because given the reputation he had, you expected him to give us a good finish and maybe a higher target than we gave, but he failed on that particular day. And I think things like those come to haunt you, and you have the chance to reverse them, and he has got this stage and this platform to do well, and I expect him to do well. Bumrah is in the absolute form of his life. I think I expect him to be the highest wicket taker of the tournament. He has been lethal, to be say the least, and it wouldn't be any different in this particular World Cup as well. Kuldeep, with his variety and form as well, again plays a very key role. And I think India certainly have one of the strongest sides of the World Cup, and these are the five players who make them this strong.
Balanced side suddenly, and you're saying one of the strongest sides in the ICC T20 World Cup definitely should make us and progress into the tournament. Let's see. Now comes the leaders for Team India. Here are the leaders for Team India: Rohit Sharma, the captain; Hardik Pandya, the vice captain; Rahul Dravid, the head coach. I think Rahul Dravid is his last tournament, ICC tournament for Team India. I'll come one by one, starting with the two Mumbai Indians teammates. Honestly speaking, Orko, things were not looking good when these two were, but they somehow tried to get things gelling. How do you think Hardik will feel now once he's the vice captain, playing under the leadership of Hardik Rohit Sharma?
Well, I think these are big players and they have to keep aside that IPL tournament because that's just a 2 month affair. Ultimately, you are playing for the team, for the country. And when it comes to representing your country as captain, vice captain, or even as a mere player, you have a much bigger role which you need to think of. And I think keeping aside all those problems that might have cropped up in the dressing room, they both would gel together because they have been colleagues for a very long time. Hardik today is the player that he is only because Rohit gave him the opportunity 6 years back. So I think that he will remember that. And given the fact that he's been given the additional responsibility of being that senior man, vice captain for them, he's certainly expected to step up in this shoes pretty well as well. And we all know that Hardik is a big player in international tournaments. He does well for India in ICC tournaments. So I expect him to come hard, keeping aside all the problems that he has had in the franchise or personal life. I think there's a life larger than that. And being such world class cricketers, you expect him to do as well. Same is the case with Rohit Sharma. He has a point to prove, especially after losing a humiliating final in the World Cup. He's
Correct.
got someone, especially because he's at the twilight of his career. You expect him to do well, and Rahul Dravid leaving as well. So you would want to give them just the perfect farewell they deserve.
100% because he is a very good leader. It's just the way one of date was in the 19th of November. We will see that. But these two have been brilliant. Rahul Dravid, a little bit of attacking approach. He needs to be seen in the T20 World Cup. Though it's at USA and West Indies, we have to see. We are done with the leaders. Let's take a look at the predicted playing 11. Although here it is my predicted playing 11. Here are the 11 players I have picked. Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, my openers. Surya at number 3. Rishabh Pant, my wicketkeeper batsman at 4. Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dube, Ravindra Jadeja, my all-rounders in the lower middle order. Then I go on to Kuldeep Yadav as my spinner and the 3 pacers. Any changes for you? Do you want to have a Kulcha together or any other players you want to have addition in this side?
Well, that depends on the pitch and also the opposition that's coming up. If the opposition has a problem against spin and if the track is comparatively gripping, I think they may look for another spinner. But they have two quality all rounders who can do enough. And maybe Chehal would not have that big a role. But that being said, he's a veteran bowler. So at some stage, they may want to use him. But I think to start off, they will certainly back this 3:1 ratio of using 3 pacers and 1 spinner and that additional option of an all rounder like Jadeja or Aksar, preferably Jadeja, to be that second spinner for the team. And Shivam Dube, as rightly said before, he has made his place in the side because of that additional factor that he's got in the form of bowling, and Hardik as well. Keep aside his form, we obviously know he's a wonderful all-rounder. So the depth in the team is there. And as we earlier also talked about, Jaiswal needs to be on the bench because that gives us more stability in the middle order. And Kohli, given the fact that he's been doing well as an opener, it'll be wonderful to watch Kohli and Rohit open together, probably one last time in the T20 World Cup.
I was about to ask you how does it feel for Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli to open for the viewers. You've summed it up that one as well. So the 11 is done. You also agree with that. According to the conditions, the teams might change. Spinners might be added. Might be an Akshar Patel. I would be tempted to having an Akshar Patel as well out here because he's performing brilliantly with the bat as well. We're done with the predicted playing 11. Now let's see what Osco has when it comes to his predictions for the T20 World Cup. Let's see what is his top 4 predictions. Orko, here it is. Your top 4 predictions is India, Pakistan, Australia, New Zealand. Surprise, surprise. The 3 teams, the common ones out here. No West Indies, no South Africa, no defending champions England. Let me know the reason behind.
I think Pakistan have got back the players they want because they have players who have played in this particular part of the world a lot. I think Naseem Shah's got good experience in West Indies, and so has Imad Wasim. So with those players coming back, it'll obviously make them a stronger unit. If they address the batting problems, someone like Sam Ayub, Babar Azam, Rizwan, and Iftikhar as well. So if these players stand up for them, I think they will be a formidable force, and they will come hard against India as well. Again, another player I just missed out was Mohammad Amir. He has also played a
Yeah.
lot in the CPL, and he's not new to this condition. So they have a lot of veteran players who have made their comeback, and that's why I wouldn't write off Pakistan as much as people would, because you expect people to mention England or West Indies a little more. But I think that Pakistan do have it in them this time. They'll not fail as often as they have done in the recent tournaments, and they would certainly be in my top four. New Zealand, again, giant killers. We all know that people don't talk about them as much as they should, but they have the team that can do well. They are filled with superstar, experienced players. Kane Williamson to start off with. Then they have some good spinners in Mitchell Santner as well, and also Ish Sodhi. So I think New Zealand will be a very formidable team to watch out for, also because they cause a lot of problems to teams like India. And again, Australia, you can never count Australia out of an ICC event, especially because they have won everything in the recent past. So you can never write Australia off. It's obvious that people would mention England or someone like South Africa, but I would have liked to mention South Africa, but I still felt Pakistan have a bit more edge. England, obviously, given the template of cricket they play of going hard, I think that is not something which is suited for these conditions, and that is why I omitted them. And India is a no-brainer. I think in any part of the world you play cricket, you just cannot make a top four without India.
And the home side, West Indies.
West Indies again could be a very dangerous side to come up with because of the hard hitters that they have, the batting depth they have, and they have a plethora of all rounders. Russell is also back. People wanted Narayan back, but that didn't happen. But Russell's back certainly, so West Indies becomes a very strong team altogether. Playing at home, we can't write them off again. But I think that they are superior sides who can, on their particular day, handle the likes of West Indies as well on their home turf.
Okay, so you have summed up your four players, four teams. I'm so sorry, four teams for the T20 World Cup semi-finalists. Let's see what are your thoughts for the leaders and leading wicket takers and the leading run scorers. Here are the two ones. You have gone just like Jihan had got in day number one. It's Jasprit Bumrah as your leading wicket taker. It's Virat Kohli once again as a leading run scorer. So how do you think about this? And there's no brainer when it comes to ICC events. Virat Kohli is leading run scorer. Bumrah has been at his top notch. You said about lethal. No brainers for these two, Orko.
Absolutely. And even if you look at recent form, if people look at how the IPL has panned out, you expect them to be in this list, and especially Bumrah for that matter. I mean, I'm not doubting Kohli, but Bumrah has been in the form of his life. I think he's in prime version of himself after injury has just gotten better. And teams have certainly decided to play this game as a 16 over game because you know that you can't get that many runs of Bumrah because he always gets wickets, be it in the power play or in the middle overs or in the death as well. So in the unplayable form that he is, I expect Bumrah to be the highest wicket taker. And Kohli 2.0, the expressive Kohli, the fearless Kohli, not the conservative Kohli, again becomes very threatening in this particular tournament as well. So it's a no-brainer why I took him as my top run getter in this tournament.
And a Kohli with the higher strike rate is what you wanted to mention as well to the doubters. So we are done with this. Leading run scorer, leading wicket takers is done. He has two Indians. Ladies and gentlemen, you all know what's coming up. It's the predictions time now. And it's a no-brainer. Team India. Do you really think, Orko, after 17 years, Team India is getting back the T20 World Cup in their hand?
I certainly believe because I think people might talk about reasons apart from cricket, saying that we haven't been lucky or we haven't been winning too many tournaments, we always choke and all. But if you just put cricketing sense into play, you know that India has a team which is not easy to beat. Maybe they are the best side in the world. And if that best side in the world gets going, you obviously know they'll walk away with the trophy as well. And
Correct.
there is an end to something. You don't always continue losing for years. And who knows, this tournament
Absolutely.
might be just that.
It might be just the beginning of many other tournaments in the coming few years for Team India. Anything can happen. The belief doesn't stop. We're done with the predictions as well, ladies and gentlemen. There's a quick trivia question for Orko coming up when it comes to Team India in the T20 World Cup. Let's have a look. Orko, here is the question for you. According to you, who was the highest wicket taker for Team India in the 2007 T20 World Cup, which India won in South Africa? Here are the four options. Was it Srishant? Was it Irfan Pathan? Was it Harbhajan Singh? Or was it RP Singh?
It was RP Singh as far as I remember.
You remember it so rightly, Orko. I was surprised you gave an answer straight away. Absolutely bang on. It's RP Singh. He was the leading wicket taker with 12 wickets in the season, and India won the T20 World Cup under the leadership of MS Dhoni. Thank you so much, Orko. Team India has done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wonderful show having with him always. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video. We're done with the squad analysts of Team India. We'll come with many other teams as well. Till then, sit back and enjoy. Till then, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. See you later. Thank you so much, and bye bye.